Good morning, welcome to the Morning Drive. This is Mira Business FM with me, Tim Elliott. On the show, you can be in touch with us if you would like to. info@mira.fm is the email address. You can also WhatsApp us, whatsapp.mira.fm. No need to remember numbers. If you have a thing that you can remember numbers, for some reason, that's my only kind of claim to fame, remembering numbers. But it is +971 522 789 567. Subscribe if you're watching us online on YouTube or Twitch or Rumble or Dailymotion, or on the website, mirabusiness.fm, or Instagram or Facebook. There's a whole list. LinkedIn is there as well. Let us know how you feel. Give us a thumbs up or an emoji and get in touch. And if you're searching, Mira Business FM, MIRA. That's the order of things here. Now, let's talk about global construction and urban development. Josine Heijmans is on the line, Senior VP for Construction at DMG Events. They're behind Big 5 Global, which has been on this week in Dubai. Last day today. Josine, good to talk to you.
Thank you so much for having me.
Very good to have you on. As I mentioned, global construction, the urban development space. But for anybody not familiar, what's Big 5 Global all about, Josie?
Well, this year marks the 46th edition of Big 5 Global. And, over that time period, we have really evolved in becoming the largest and most influential construction event in the Middle East, Africa, and South Asia region, bringing together kind of that full value chain under one roof. So it's kind of this meeting point for contractors, developers, policymakers, manufacturers, technology providers, everyone that makes this industry complete. And of course, every year we kind of focus on what are kind of those real world industry challenges and opportunities, whether it's around materials or sustainable solutions, digital technologies. And we are also particularly known kind of for particularly global suppliers wanting to be part of the enormous project activity in the MEASA region. And we see this reflected in this year's event. We welcoming over 2,800 exhibitors, bringing over 60,000 products and solutions to the region. But it's not just only product display. We have also very extensive educational program, summits, CPD accredited Big 5 talk sessions. So we also really want to be a knowledge hub as well, in addition to exploring product and networking opportunities.
So a huge amount going on. I had visitors here a few weeks ago, and they've been to Dubai before, but the main comment this time was, there is so much construction, and I guess that's the experience of lots of us, cranes, wherever you look. You're in your 46th year, congratulations on that. But a couple of questions. What is it that's led to Big 5 Global becoming such a central hub for the construction and urban development community? And also, just a personal point, how's the week been so far for you?
Well, of course, I mean, the involvement of Big 5 Global very much goes hand in hand with the massive opportunities in the region. A lot of this, of course, is driven by population growth, by urbanization happening in the region. But that's kind of also how Big 5 Global has evolved over the time. The event so far has been really, really brilliant. Lots of activity. For example, one of the central themes that we have been talking about this year is sustainability. We really see that the industry is moving kind of more towards low carbon construction within the GCC. Kind of really accelerated by, of course, regulatory updates or clients demanding more sustainable solutions. And we see this also reflected on the show floor. Exhibitors are showcasing materials and systems, really reducing that embodied and operational carbon, being it the kind of low emission cement or steel, modular and prefabricated solutions, advanced MEP systems. And this is very much also driven by governments tightening sustainability codes, and really driving for that adoption. And then this is reflected on the show floor. We're very pleased this year. For the first time, we have a China pavilion showcasing over 1,000 square meters built entirely by sustainable materials, which definitely I can recommend to come and explore. And then we have our Big Five Impact Trail, really highlighting across the show floor all those exhibitors with sustainable solutions as well.
So I want to ask you a little bit about sustainability because, obviously it's a central theme from, low emission materials, you've got circular design, energy efficient systems, lots more. And it's driven by, governments, but it's also driven by, us. That's more and more, that's what people are looking for. Are we seeing genuine scalable innovation from exhibitors, or is the sector still maybe struggling a little bit to move beyond, green marketing before they get to, making a real world impact? What do you think?
No, I definitely think, and I mean, we see that there is a shift. And as I mentioned, of course, quite a bit of this is driven by changes in the regulatory environment, like governments really pushing and tightening those codes and demands for more sustainable practices across the built environment. But also developers really are increasingly, particularly in the mega projects, integrate clear environment targets. And we see this on the show floor as well. And these are conversations that we touch upon, for example, also as part of our CPD accredited program. We have a stream focused around sustainability talks. We talk sustainable building material talks as well, really kind of reflecting on that market's transition towards real impact rather than just positioning alone.
The event's also been shining a spotlight on digital construction, so AI, robotics, 3D printing, I guess a more kind of automated approach. How far are we from mass adoption? Is the industry, really transforming, or technologies like this kind of a side project for developers?
Well, adoption is accelerating, definitely in areas where, of course, digital tools really solve some of those kind of long-standing challenges, where it's delays or cost control or work shortages. We also see AI moving more into mainstream use, being it in design reviews or inspections, or field management, 3D printing. Also there really being enabled by some updates recently in the regulations in the UAE and Saudi Arabia. And also things like robotics and automation, they're really gaining traction, particularly where it concerns more kind of repetitive or high-risk tasks. And similarly, in Big Five Global, we try to reflect on some of this momentum through our features. So we have our digital construction world, which is really the hub for everything AI, robotics, automation, BIM, digital twins, where kind of visitors really hands-on get the opportunity to explore how some of these tools are kind of shaping the real world delivery. We have our startup city, which has a really focus on kind of those early stage innovators and disruptors. And then again, in our content sessions, AI talks, tech talks, where really getting some of those insights from being a government or tech providers and project leaders, what is actually being implemented today and what is working and what isn't working. So yes, the industry is not fully transformed yet, but definitely the region is witnessing a shift for more digital construction, whether it's in procurement, in planning, or other delivery strategies.
I guess it would be fair to say, if you look particularly in this region at the UAE and obviously Saudi Arabia, they jump immediately to mind. But you could say construction is booming. That would be a reasonable assessment. But, you know, we're exposed to global uncertainties, geopolitical risks, supply chain disruption consequences, fluctuating material prices, things like that. You've got lots of influential people this week talking about things like this. What are industry leaders telling you about how they prepare for these challenges?
Yeah. So I mean, so Big Five Global, we are really a place, of course, not just as an exhibition, but we're also a place for learning and collaboration. And particularly in our summit programs is where we kind of bring together those government entities, policymakers, and senior industry leaders to really have those practical conversations about, you know, what are some of those current and future challenges, and you know, also what are the solutions. And particularly this year, we are focusing on topics like supply chain resiliency, carbon reduction, AI adoption, workforce productivity, just to mention a few. And the leaders really, you know, they have been sharing some real world experiences rather than theory, like the UAE Ministry of Energy and Infrastructure. They really stress kind of the need for public and private sector collaboration, really to meet the country's infrastructure and sustainability goals. Also at our Livable Cities X Summit, Abu Dhabi Department of Municipalities and Transport really explained how kind of dynamic planning, community engagement, real-time data, and also neighborhood design really can improve quality of life. So across all stages, really all speakers repeatedly also emphasize the need for skills development, because with all those changes, you know, being it AI, digital construction, sustainability, we need to make sure that the people on the job, the workforce, really can pick up as well.
One final question, Josine, actually maybe two. As Big Five Global approaches nearly half a century, 46 years this year, what kind of legacy do you want this event to leave? How do you see its role evolving as cities move towards, I don't know, smarter, more sustainable, more resilient urban environments?
Well, we really, you know, Big Five Global, the legacy is we want to continue pushing the industry forward, really bringing the people together, you know, elevating standards and helping to turn kind of ambitious ideas into real sustainable progress. Of course, you know, for many years we have been the trusted meeting place, you know, where the global construction community unites here in Dubai. You know, and comes to exchange knowledge and build partnerships. And of course, this happens far beyond the 4 days of the event. And, you know, we really want to continue enabling those opportunities to those emerging markets, you know, continue empowering innovators, startups, and talent to really scale their impact. And, you know, of course, we need to continue building on the success of the event every year. You know, because this is where, you know, the full industry, construction and urban development come together really to find solutions for the massive opportunities in the $9 trillion project pipeline here in the region.
We just had a question in from somebody, I think, watching the live stream this morning. This guy says, "Hello, I'm Kennedy. I'm a university student in Dubai studying comms, communications, but I'm currently interested in construction. I wonder if you can help Kennedy, Josine, just quickly. How is the construction job market right now in the UAE? And is there any specific degree? I mean, obviously engineering, I get that, but, you know, are there a number of different qualifications that are perhaps highlighted, people are looking for right now?"
Well, today is the last day of Big Five, and I definitely could recommend this young man to come to Big Five Global. For the first time this year, we are having a student day. where not just we have dedicated student talks happening on the show floor, but there were also dedicated mentoring sessions, really having the opportunity to not just learn about engineering or architecture, but directly engage as well with leaders in the industry to really find out, what is your best journey, where are your interests. So I look forward to have him later on at the show. We are opening at 10.
Kennedy, your timing is impeccable. Just one thing, and this is kind of a personal thing, I think, but not too personal, Josine, but you're coming to the end of the show, 46 years. What is, for you, what's been the best bit this year?
Whew, that's so difficult to choose one. No, I think every year I'm so impressed. Of course, there's many activities happening, partnerships closed. It's almost impossible to pick one. But what I really feel is, from the conversations happening on the floor, the industry is really changing and moving forward. And I'm very proud to be working with my team on a platform where we kind of enable those partnerships, where we enable those conversations and networking opportunities. And I think that's the thing I'm most proud of.
Things to do, people to see. I know you're busy. The show opens at 10. It's coming to a close. Big Five Global, probably the most influential construction event in the region here in Dubai at the World Trade Center. Josine Heijmans is Senior Vice President for Construction at DMG Events. Thank you for taking time to speak to us, Josine. All the best.
Thank you so much. Thank you.
Josine Heijmans joining us here at Mira Business FM.